Hey, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome. Let's start by thanking Derek for the gifted memberships. How is everyone doing today? Hey, Maurice. Hey, Rod. I've made that mistake too, so don't feel bad, Derek. Hey, Martin. Maybe Zybertech. What else do we have here? Maurice and Lars. Hey, Tuxedo. Hey, Rick. Scroll through here real quick. Hey, Leonard. Malfrey. Hey, Bill. Steve and MJ. What else do we have? How is everyone? Hey, Lucas. Hey, John. Projects in Dad's Garage. We're gonna call, let's see, Nergorod. My project for watching tutorials is adding lights to my Micron 180. Nice. Hey, Joe. Hey, Nick. Hey, Hasio. Barry, Holtz, Cliff, Nick, Kittrell, and TC. How are folks? Hey, Ed. Hey, TJ. So I want to start off today real quick because this is pretty cool. This is what we finished on the member stream yesterday. So this is the type of thing that we try to do on the Charlie's Angels streams once a month. For this build, since it was so involved, we did double up the streams for a couple of months earlier this year. It's very involved. It was overall a lot of fun. Had a couple of little frustrating parts, but in the end, we're there. It's a couple of things I feel need to be changed. No fault of 3D sets, but the shocks need stiffer springs, and those are just due to the selection. And these RC tires on printed wheels, in my opinion, are not a fun thing to deal with. So I'm going to be looking for some printed tire options because honestly, this ends up being a display piece. But it is really cool and very cool looking. Look at the detail there. We've got things like pull the door, open, pull the handle to open the door. Get some detail in there. It's kind of hard to see the dash, but I did a lot of MMU3 printing in there to get some different colors. Projects in Dad's Garage, thanks for becoming a member. Hey Sean, thanks for being a member for 32 months. Hey Taco, welcome. Hey Kenneth. Icon. Sean and Laura, I presume. Hey PF Dennis. Hey Poity. This is more MMU3 fun. The hood opens and hey, that's not for you to play with and knock things off. Anyway, these projects are always a blast. My scale, the Sakura is still my favorite. I feel like it turned out beyond what I expected. This one's great, and the color's even better, but there are a couple of things that make it not my favorite. That's all. Anyway, let's put this away and get going. So for anybody who is, I haven't said exactly what it was. This is from 3dsets.com. This is their Reaper model. It does have the downrider pack, which means there's extra servos in there that adjust the ride height. I feel like there is some probably shock length tuning I can do like I did on the Sakura to make that a usable range. But yeah, let me put this away. Hey, Benny. Oh, I need to figure out a way to store and display that and foam flinging blasters and stuff. Oh boy. Oh, hey, 3DC. Your name there in chat is extremely long. Zero Tool High Efficiency Hotend by Swiss 3DC. Welcome. This is from them. We talked about this last stream. We'll talk about it more probably this stream. We'll see. Did we decide on a name for the color? Well, we're not gonna be able to actually decide on a name, but the suggestions were Tears of the Reaper or Blood Wine. That red filament on the Reaper is a custom color from Protopasta by Bob Carnes. Had it done at one of their workshops, one of their filament workshops that Protopasta hosts. And it is basically a Blood of My Enemies red with a black glitter, but it's close to that. Anyway. Have you driven it outside yet? No, because the tires aren't glued and it won't go anywhere without the tires glued. So I want to find a solution for that. I need to, but who knows when. Taco announced yesterday they're debating doing a Vice 2025. Yep. So if you're on the Voron Discord in the Voron Owners Club, there is information out there. So go check it out. Britt, welcome. Felt someone talking about it. There we go. Hey, Brain Twist. Hey, BBs. So this is the subject of this build series. It is my Prusa Mini. We are rebuilding it, kind of inspired by David from Prusa, that Prusa guy, I think it is, on Twitter. He does a lot of the really awesome finished projects, like painted busts and other projects. He posted not too long ago about refreshing his farm of Prusa Minis and redoing them in the Prusament polycarbonate carbon fiber blend filament. And I had just received some Ambrosia, West3D Ambrosia polycarbonate carbon fiber in blue and red. So in combination with the Prusament black PC CF and the blue for some accent colors, we're rebuilding the printer in that. So last stream, one of the things that we did that's outside of the build is I put little slot covers from Misumi. They're 30/30 slot covers you can buy. And I got sorry, I have caught a nail apparently. It's the extra use of side cutters. Since I don't have any clippers in here, I'll just use some flush cutters to keep that from catching. Anyway. So, and the idea here is it just makes it easier to wipe off. You don't get filament down in the extrusion slots. So, we do have a Polymaker filament giveaway. Link is in the pinned post and the description. We'll do that at the usual 3-hour mark. That is not a chew toy, Mr. Oscar. There. Hey, GPs. What else do we have? Is the Prusa Mini better than an A1 Mini? I'm not going to make that comparison. I'm not even going to comment on that. So completely different machines. That's not the point of the build here. This is, we're going to hang out and rebuild a Prusa Mini, and that's why we're here. Thinking about a modular RC car storage carrier system, you could quickly store carry access. The 3D Sets actually has a little 3D printed and panel carrier on their site. It's probably not the greatest. Anyway, at the 3-hour mark, we will be giving away a roll of Polymaker filament. You have to be here to win, yada, yada, yada. So last stream, we took a gigantic risk on this build. I was not fully prepared, but we started the process anyway. We went through and we did some flow tests on the stock Hotend. We unbuilt the printer and then began the assembly process. We should have stopped at after the unbuilt part because we weren't fully prepared. I've corrected that for today. We are ready for today's build. GPs, thanks for being a member for 20 months. Just looped up my Mini. My Mini has a Bondtech IFS extruder with a Revo Micro. Nice. So we are properly, we are guaranteed of a smooth build today. So with the cost of stuff going up, I will not start entering for the filament giveaway. Sorry, everyone, your odds got slightly worse now. Oh, you will now start entering? Is that what you mean? There you go. Okay. Let's see. So let's just get into it. There are a few things. So there are a couple of things I did after stream. I really wanted to keep working on this last Sunday. Sometimes I want to just relax or whatever, but I sat here for a little bit and checked out a few things. Checked out a few things after the stream and found a couple of little interesting notes I want to bring up. First, I did put the slot covers in a few more areas. I figure we went through that. There's another one I need to still put in. One thing I thought was interesting is, hey, Tintellin. Maurice, thanks for the gift of memberships. So if we go, oh, well, I got to turn on the camera before it'll display anything. And let's go here. Let's get one cut under. Hey, give me a moment. Ugh. I have a computer power supply under here that has attracted Oscar's attention. So let me get it out of his way. He's chewing on a connector. Where was I? Okay. So at some point, I don't know when, doesn't really matter. At some point in the mini development, Prusa switched to using injection molded front and rear plates on the Mini. Fiddling around with the printer after stream last week, I realized that the draft angle, you can see it there. You see any injection molded part, you can't have perfect 90-degree sides, pieces. They won't come out of the mold. So you put on a draft angle of some degree. I don't know what the draft angle is or what is typical, but found out that the draft angle on the part was actually pushing right here on the electronics enclosure. Not a big deal. It's the electronics enclosure. It's not going to impact the way the printer functions at all. I did loosen all this up and I filed that down a little bit, but I thought that was interesting. I thought that was interesting that it does impact, and this doesn't have anything to do with me printing this in PC CF. It would do it the same on any. I'd be curious if anybody has a Mini with the injection molded plates, if you can see that this is bowed in. One of the easy way that caught my attention was with the top on here. This was not an even gap along there. Just something, a bit of something to notice as I was building. So, you got billed twice. Well, hopefully they sort that out for you, Maurice. Or hopefully it's just a notification error. Okay, so at the instructions, and this is open right now, so the assembly instructions I have up. I was wondering, when we were going through the instructions before, I noticed that this, they were showing the difference between the parts, but there's no real difference. There's no functional difference, but they're pointing out that there's a difference. I zoomed in and decided, okay, there's a little piece here. That's the most obvious difference. The new one, which is the green here, is actually much more difficult to pull the switch out. I had to actually cut the old part to get the switch out. This one would have just slid out the top, but it was probably popping out on them. So anyway, starting from February 2025, you may receive a new Mini Z bottom. That's interesting because the one that I have is over a year old. So February 2024 probably, or actually more like December. And mine had this bridge on it. Oh, they got rid of it. I see. Never mind. This is the newer one. They got rid of it. Mine had the older one. Interesting. I had that backwards. Hey Sauce. How you doing, Reth? The older version assembly is the same as the new version. Anyway, let's go through. We've got more. We did all this, so let's see where we're at. I put the LCD cable in. Z-axis parts preparation. Something I noticed, again, another thing I noticed is, let's see here. Let me skip through. We did this, sorry. Let me see where we were. We got through this. I think we were right here. We put this on, and then our next part was installing the bearings and the rods. Okay. So something to note is, especially if you're printing parts, they're not the ones that came with the Mini. I think to note that you might want to leave these screws, these 3 screws on the top, loose until you put in your Z-rods, because they are a close fit on the metal plate here, and it can be difficult to get them down into the printed part if they don't line up perfectly. So, hey Marcel. Hey Clifford. So, I said hi to Sauce, right? Hi Sauce. Because I know something I'm gonna need to take apart here. Oh shoot, I didn't do that. Okay, I'll have to go searching for something. I know that I missed, or I know that there's something I'm gonna have to do. I'm going to not put these bearings on yet. So, but I had set these to where they go all the way into the part here. Let's give it a little, nope, there we go. So now we're going to go back to the instructions, and I need to mount the, what was that? Oh yeah, there we go. What screws are we needing? In 3x12s. So we're gonna grab our, take the lead screw nut off. Apparently I made a noise. Oscar is a knob to Felix. I have caught Felix giving back. So Felix can hold his own. It's just that Oscar, yes, is normally the instigator. Hey, Incendium. Hey, Rick. Okay, we're gonna grab this, and we are going to put this on. Like that. With a couple of 3x12s. I had dropped a screw somewhere, so I'll have to figure out which one that was, but we'll probably find out at the end of the build. Hey, Clifford. I have not fully prepped this part. I think there are some, oh no, we did put some square nuts in there, so they're already there. And this is gonna go up in here. Just put that in there, keep it out of the way. Something I do wanna do is make sure as this tightens down, the printed part is centered on the stepper. Hey, Benjamin. The turnout's supposed to be the same color. as the tray? Well, sort of, yes, usually, Andres, and hi, one solid cube. This printer is printed in the PC CF. The printer that I have tuned really well for this, for the blue, is apart right now. And the last stream was on Easter Sunday, so I printed it in Cookie CAD's Pixie Dust. Very bright, colorful filament. So I don't get that nice pattern in the bottom of the parts tray when I print it. This is the, I think it's concentric top infill. So if you choose, you play around with your top infill patterns and you can get some interesting designs. So, okay, so that's on there. It tells us to put the lead screw nut on. For right now, that doesn't matter. I do want to, now we can get this on here. And then this is gonna go. Slide into here. Now, everything kind of, we got to make sure the end of the lead screw nut goes in there, and then that'll pop down. So, and then all of this kind of shifts around, and we'll force it into place. So, where did those screws go? They were right. Hey Sven, Death Cube. Hey Book Central. Octagram spiral should be the infill pattern. That might be. There's my other. What is this one? Oh, this might be concentric. This is. That might be concentric. That might be octagram spiral, and then Archimedean chords I did on, where is that tray? Archimedean chords, I think this one's Archimedean chords. Slightly different from, nope, those are the same, never mind. There's basically three, and then actually, Hilbert Curve looks really good on a, I did it on a gray filament that worked out pretty well. Okay, so this guy goes in there. Where is my... So we do have to kind of tweak this stuff around to wherever is the... It doesn't just set straight, which I thought was interesting. So now we gotta twist this around until we can line up that hole. Yeah, nothing I can really talk about, Sean. Just lining this up mostly. Okay. So that gets tweaked, and then I noticed that maybe you can, the lead screw doesn't hit the center of that, and I'm not sure why, and I'm not sure that it really matters. Maybe we can see it better with this. Right about there is center. It's not far off, but hey Delvin, is this Prusa Mini extruder stock? The extruder is all going to be stock. The Hotend, we're trying something different. We're doing the Swiss 3DC. The link is in the description. Hotend. It's a really interesting, different, very different concept. So, And last stream we did some flow test data of the stock Prusa Hotend, and we will run the same test with this new one. Okay, so that being just a little bit off had me thinking, okay, so what isn't quite in alignment? Because when we look at this, we have a flat machine plate and an extrusion and a flat printed part up here. As long as this is all square and parallel parts, as long as it's all square and parallel parts, then it should hit the center of that hole. I don't know if we can tweak this, maybe loosen the screws here. You see the problem here. So all of this, the source of all of what we're doing right now is I've been in CNC mill building land, and I'm shifting a decimal point on all the tolerances that I'm looking for. All kinds. I just trimmed my nails not too long ago. Forgot the palm. No, Leonard, I didn't forget it. We're doing some explanation of things that I saw after last stream. So instead of installing everything and then uninstalling it, we're only doing the required parts to demonstrate what I saw. So even shifting that around, that doesn't change. So I want to try a few things just to see, because I want this to be perfectly in line. What I'm going to do next is not a perfect test, but it's going to kind of verify that things aren't quite right. And hopefully point us in a direction. So this here, and probably two of these over here to kind of stabilize it. So we're going to set this on here. So because we have, and we're going to go right like this. Because we have feet on the bottom, I want some sort of reference. And over this 8-inch circle of my bench here, we're close enough to flat for this demonstration. It's not something we would take any actual measurements off, but I wanted to show what I saw, because this is the quickest way I can think of to measure how perpendicular the Z column is to the Y frame. And we may not actually end up fixing this. I'm just going through my process when I see something odd in a printer and see what I don't even know what we're going to find out here, because I didn't go that far. I went far enough to see there was something and go from there. With renewing old units, is it worth the money if you're not creating content? Chris Riley is of the opinion if it works, just use it and buy the new thing, as cost to upgrade old isn't much cheaper. I can see the argument there, One Solid Cube. Especially as things may get more difficult to source, and you want to tinker, working on existing things, cleaning up, re-greasing is a outlet for that. That can be an outlet instead of always having an upgrade or at least major upgrades. Maybe you can still get that small upgrade to tweak something, but oops, that's not what I want. I want right here. Let's go a little. We're definitely, yeah. Don't steal my serial number. And I know that this is a wood square, but it is actually square. And if we go here, you see that? It's actually tilted forward a bit, which would explain the misalignment of the lead screw at the end. So let's see if we can figure out why that's tilted forward. You see that? What amount isn't important. We're just kind of looking at stuff. Hey, Mark. Isn't PC a semi-rigid material, or is the CF enough to make it rigid? The CF makes it pretty rigid. GPs, Neil, you asked earlier what I printed things on, and I forgot to answer. All of the Prusament PC CF I printed on, I'm pretty sure it was my Mark 4S. Prusa has their profile dialed for their PC CF filament. All of the blue stuff I printed on my Purple Trident. Lost track. Where was I? Are you sure your printer is square with the workbench? I talked about that, Tuxedo. This is not a perfect setup. What I'm doing is demonstrating and validating what I'm seeing in another part of the printer. This is a very small area of my workbench. It is pretty flat, not perfectly flat. That's all. This is a good point to check to see how it is this way. I didn't actually check that. That is interestingly off. Why is that? That is interesting. Something else to look at. The bench is not that far off. Didn't review about it this time. Hey, Steven. No, that's fine, Tuxedo. No worries. I mean, somebody else was going to be wondering the same thing, why I'm doing precision measurements or evaluation on a MDF workbench. We're not worried about the exact numbers here. I saw a misalignment of the lead screw through this hole, and it's actually looking, I don't know what's going on. It's looking a little better right now. I saw a misalignment in that hole and wanted to investigate why. So I didn't start with measuring the column here. Hey, Scott. Are the 1, 2, 3s on the same extrusions and height? I have 2 on the back, 1 on the front. Oh, shoot. When I was looking at this the other day, this is stream distraction. In the direction we were testing before, it was not that. So thank you. I appreciate that, because that, that makes me feel better. It was not on there. That is far better. Not perfect, but far better. When I was doing this on Sunday, I did make sure, but stream, I'll just blame stream distractions. I didn't have this front 1, 2, 3 block on the frame. It was actually sitting on the printed part. So yes, thanks for pointing that out. Hey, Parky. Hey, Mitch. No, we talked about clipperizing Prusas last week. I'm not a fan. Not a fan. It wasn't touching the screw, it was behind the screw. But there is this CNC part is not flush right there. Okay, so what I want to do a quick check on as far as the forward and back tilt is just make sure this plate is flat. And I already checked the top of this for square. I haven't checked the bottom of the extrusion just to go through stuff. This screw here sticks out a lot. It's a significant stick out here around that part. So let's go ahead and take this off. Could you check the forward backward again just to be sure? For sure. push that down on there. And same thing there. Pushing on. And the screw is not in the way. I know it's not optimum angle, but you can probably see this shifting. And we can go here, and this is, like I said, not perfect. It is leaned out a little bit, so anything down here is not what's interfering. What's more important for that, though, we'll have to check to see if I can get an angle on it, is if we can see if this is parallel to that. This is, I said this a second ago, but this is all a result of me playing in metalworking land recently. Bill posted a picture. I'll bring the picture up. Copy link. And oh boy, big ol'. We were playing on his mill recently, making parts and having a blast, having an actual blast. A little LDO. That LDO apron is the heavier, more canvas one, and it's pretty nice. So, put an aluminum plate under the two bottom aluminum extrusions and Z extrusion. Now my Mini is rock solid. Oh, nice. Safety shorts, yes. But I have glasses, come on. I have glasses. I only got a little cut. And that was because I ran my hand underneath an end mill and just barely touched my, my knuckle. Just barely touched my knuckle. But it didn't even bleed until I kind of picked at it to see if it was, and I caught the skin, and then it caused it to bleed. But Bill had me covered. Bill had me covered. It was, I had an appropriate Band-Aid. I had an appropriate Band-Aid. So, I was good. Dual vise. We needed to support the end of that larger plate. So, and I know about my beard. I don't know what I'm gonna do about that because I ordered one of those mills. So hopefully I'll have one of those mills here and within the next couple of weeks. I did a pre-tariff trigger pull. Hey, Laura. Yeah. All mills need stickers saying this is the ways. So there will be one of those sitting right here, I think is where it's gonna go. I need to finally get rid of those old Subaru wheels and tires. So if you're in California, you have a Subaru, you want some forged wheels, reach out. Anyway, let's take this back apart. I want to check a couple of things, then we'll move on. This is a little side distraction, but this is really what I do when I'm doing a build, is noticing things like that and then trying to figure out why. Hey, Garrett. So send my heads to you to be flattened. Not that big. Those are made in Taiwan. That particular mill is made in Taiwan. It is spec'd by Precision Matthews, but I'll take the Milo off your hands. I'll free up space and all. Now that I've been working on this guy, which is Cascade, and working with Bill on his mill, I really want to go through the Milo again. I have gone to the nth degree on shimming stuff on this and seeing positive results. I feel like I could have spent more time on the Milo doing that. I got some pre-tariff project orders in, a lot of other stuff to work on. Yeah. That is going to be a manual mill, and I want to keep it a manual mill because I like using a manual mill, and it complements the CNC stuff. So the ability to square up stock and square the end of extrusions and stuff, and that squared up stock just is easier to fixture in the CNC. So I can have a process where I square something up on the mill, fixture it in CNC for more complex, but just making a block and drilling some holes in it, the manual mill is going to be way quicker. Everything I do is onesies and twosies. Once you get into threesies and more, and things that require curves, the CNC is where you need to do it. But anything you can get away with, straight lines and stuff, the manual mill is going to be quicker. The one I ordered has DRO, and I got the Auto X, the motorized X feed. And I have plans to do a motorized Z, a column height. Okay, so I wanted to take this off and also take this off. I have all the tools to make stuff full metal high temp yet. Thanks, Cinema Quad. Thanks for being here. You guys are going to make spin. Okay, so this piece is what I want to start with. Make sure that this is flat and hasn't gotten a bend in it. Maybe the printer got hit or whatever. I do have my surface plate sitting here. I'm just going to go over here and wipe off a spot. Make sure there's nothing there. Wipe this off and then just see how we are. And I'm just tapping it, and it is solid. There is no bend to this. It is perfectly flat. I can set it on here and tap all along on both sides, and it is not. You would hear a clink. You would hear a metal noise if it was not flat. So we are going to go with this is perfectly flat. Watch streams like this so I don't spend my money on projects. You can live vicariously through some streams like this, then perfect. Okay, so I have my actual machinist square here. So I'm just going to do some checks on the ends. On it, these. Considering buying such a mill, watch Cloud42's current series and use his affiliate link. You know what I'm really annoyed with, Bill? I had read on Precision Matthews' website, they don't do discounts or whatever. They don't often do discounts. And then I saw James Cloud42's video on CNCing his 728 mil, and there's a 5% coupon in his link that I didn't use. Okay, so we're just gonna go in here and I gotta find a light source. Got nice chamfered edges, so I can actually go across it this way. And I am not seeing anything on that side, so I'm going all around metal to metal. It is perfectly square as far as I can see. I'm lining this up with a light source behind me so I can sight down that way in many different directions. There are no burrs. That is going to be a little piece that might shift it out of the way. So the other thing would be potentially something along here, and what we can, that was tilted that way. So this has to be perfectly flat across here to, can get that out of the way. if the printed part here is up a little bit over the extrusion here, it is going to impart that tilt. Is one of the inserts perhaps a tiny bit? No, I've been looking here. There's nothing sticking out on any side. I intentionally cut these flush or very slightly under flush. So, oh, let's here. Let's pull the extrusions out. I can set this. I want to pull the extrusions out to do this, but I can set this on the surface plate over there on 3 sides. I have a sticker here on the 4th side, but oh shoot, I didn't want to do that. I guess I don't have a sticker there on the 4th side anymore. That's okay, it'll go back on. Let's wipe it off, and then we can try this on the, surface plate. Just using fingers to get dust and stuff off. Got some sticker residue. Get that wiped off. There we go. Okay, let's get a little bigger area wiped off on here. No, I'm not seeing any rock here. Yeah, it is very, very straight. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter where the sticker was. We will clean off a spot for it to be. Hi, Jose. Just gonna clean off whatever. Can I tell which side the sticker was on? No. We'll put it on this side. It's going to be, let me set this down on the table here. Make sure I didn't put it on over. Nope. Not catching. Not catching anywhere, so we're good. Now the calibration will be off. Okay. With that, what I want to do is get in here and loosen these. We can put this on. There's no reason why we can't put this on. It goes on there like that. So here. Oh, shoot. This goes on here like this. And I'm going to go over here to the surface plate and use its edge as a flat edge. And just make sure we're putting this on square. that is on square, and then we can do even something like this. Let's see what that is. I don't know if there's enough light behind there to see, but that is square. So, hey Sanity, welcome, welcome. Hey Jake, been up since 2 and about to go to bed. Thought I'd pop in and say hi. Hey man. Have a good evening, a good night. Hi Edward. Okay, so I do want to loosen these. A few screws here that hold this, and now this whole thing should wiggle around. Then put this on here. We can do that. Do these stick up at all? No. The slot cover does not stick up over the extrusion cover. Yeah, I think we'll be okay. Let's go here. Oh, this has to lock in there. That's an interesting thing. This screw head has to lock into a piece here. If that was pulling down, it would impact that. I'm gonna get under there and trim that a little bit, because that would cause the tilt that I was seeing. Screwing whole Z-axis with plastic parts, it's hard to square this. Well, we're trying. I'm gonna get in here and trim a little arc on here. Just trim the plastic away there, so when that screw head doesn't pull, the case doesn't pull down on the Z assembly, because this is not a bolted connection point. It does not need to touch there. You won't even be able to see this behind all that stuff. Just slowly. There we go. What we are doing here is extra. There is a sane person wouldn't be doing all this. So. Take this. Oh, that's a through hole, so I didn't have to worry about it. So now, with that there, this will go on here. We will bolt the top down. A couple of different sizes of screws here. You want to say you are insane? Well, to a certain degree. Actually, before I do this, so I'm not tweaking on it, so I'm not pushing on it, I want to put the rest of these slot covers in. And the back one has wires going down it, and Prusa has some slot covers to go along the back. And it's in 2 pieces, so you can get the other thing. That was the surface that the sticker was on. I can see that now. I couldn't see that before. Break that off real quick. Now, no evidence it was ever any different than it is now. Okay, those are on. This is going in. There we go. This guy goes in here. Not tightening yet. This whole thing can shift. This index piece here should go against the back of the plate, the rear plate there. Should index on there. Okay. Which is the longer screw here? Z-top. Let me get the, which one is it? That's a M3 by 12. The other two, there we are. Okay, so this is the other M3 by 12. Favorite sticker removal tool is a heat gun. Heat gun works great for removing stickers, but you need some sort of solvent for the residue usually. Sometimes heat will, and depending on the adhesive and the sticker, everything will pull apart just fine. But, okay, so that is there and there. We want to probably not fully tighten these. Not fully tighten these, but just basically get vertical positioning. This one, I think, can tighten. Get vertical positioning with these. Oop. Put these in here, see, that doesn't go in easy. Let's get all this loosened up. Go. This is just for that alignment. There we go. Now we can. Where are the cats with the back to us? They are right here, right in front of me. They're facing away from me right now. They lay in their different ways. Sometimes they're facing me. Okay. Here, tighten these down. Pretty good torque on those, and then I'm going to go through and loosen and tighten all of these. Just so hopefully things settle. Okay. Now, let's see if we made any difference. Further. If we didn't make any difference, we're not going to pursue perfection here. This was just a little side exercise based on what I saw after last stream. So if I can put this down. There's a purple paint bucket there as a trash can. It is. It is. I printed that ages ago. Actually printed it as so this has a gap there, but this is, we made a difference. We made a significant difference in something that we did here, because the gap at the top, that looks like a pretty even gap along there. You can see that. So that is the plate down here is not flush with the side of the extrusion. So we actually made a bit of a difference. The top isn't bolted on, so when we bolt the top on, it might push this out. But in a steady state here, it is correct. Maybe it was correct before, because I don't think I measured it without the top on. I don't remember. this side. We did make a difference. That is a... Yeah, it is way better. Once again, that bottom is not perfectly flush there. Some level of difference. Okay, let's continue. One way or another, it's going back together now. It is a 3D printer. We are computer controlled hot glue gun, so. I feel better. And really, that's what matters here, right? I feel better about it. Okay. So the thing that I did not do, and I can probably find the right things relatively quickly. The thing I did not do is grease the 10mm rods, but I know that within one of these 4 boxes, I have the proper printed part to do that. So look through, these are little Prusa spare parts. 2, 3rd box. Oh, okay. 1 more box. If it's not in here, then I'm sure at that point where, but yeah, this is, there we go. Found it. I wanted this guy. PF Dennis, thanks for the gift of memberships. Just adds SKU bias. Hey, Takuya. Takuya has been buried in CNC land for a very long time. I think you would be proud of our sequence of of what we've been playing with. You may have at least been entertained. Think of making a homemade CNC over the next year. What spindle does the Cascade use? Or is it, that's still a secret? I don't think it's a secret. It's just a, I think it's a 1.5 kilowatt import spindle. That's, I mean, what a lot of these, I think it's the same basic unit that the Milo uses. Okay, let's go ahead and get the 10mm bearings freshened up. 1.21 gigawatts. Yeah, this little trash can, I think it's carbon fiber filled PLA as the base. I was printing a lot of these when I was doing some Obsidian testing, beta testing for E3D. So I printed a lot of filled and glow in the dark filaments, and that was one. So that's a carbon fiber PLA. I think it's Polymaker carbon fiber PLA, and then a Cookie CAD. Is it Witch's Blue or one of their gorgeous filaments? I set my Prusa Mini on 1, 2, 3 blocks, and I was measuring how vertical the column here was, because I noticed after the last stream that something was a little off. And I incorporated a surface plate into our build here today. What am I looking for? The bearings. 1, 2, and some pink gels. Is the blind leading the blind? When do you have time to do IT? Well, I work 2 full-time jobs. This and my full-time job. I think I had already cleaned these off, but let me just make sure. This printer has 20 days of print time on it. I'm not worrying about a full cleaning of the bearings. I have not had good luck with actually cleaning and regreasing these because, and maybe I was using cheap bearings, but they tended to rust almost immediately. And when you'd regrease them and then run them in, you'd get this reddish tinge to the grease that spills out. So all we're doing is cleaning off the seals, just wiping them off basically, and then re-greasing. Just a little bit. Other side. Use WD-40 to clean them. It also protects from the instant rust. I haven't tried that. That's something to try. There's some certain way you put these in, inject, and then it unlocks or something, but I just found that if I just kind of wiggle it back and forth with light pressure on the thing, it works its way in well enough. Extra here. Takuya, did I mention I ordered the same manual mill that Bill has? Bill was a bad influence. Roll it till the bearings fall into the nozzle channel. Works 50% of the time. Okay, so now let's see where we're at in the instructions. Okay, so we did this. We do blame Bill. There, that's still bolted to that. That's in there, there. And then these, we'll put them in there. Move the, sure. Let's hold it in the right orientation, get the bed out of the way, knock the bearing over. Glad to hear everyone needs a manual mill. Start spending too much at MSC, I know. I bought the Precision Matthews 728 VT. Okay. So, those on, and then the next thing, top assembly. Oh, but we need to put the, yeah. Okay, so. That is interesting that, oh, that's interesting. That's gonna have to go that way and that way, but is this such that when this is on, is my slot cover gonna be in the way of the bearing? I might have to take that slot cover off. I am not converting it to CNC. I am steadily collecting DIY CNC machines. I'm gonna leave the one manual. Okay, trying to figure out, I have a feeling that slot cover needs to not be there, because if we look at this, it's rubbing, and it's going to rub no matter how this gets tweaked. So I need to take that bottom slot cover off. I mean, that inside one. So let's see if we can, here, we can do it if we pull this rod. Thanks, Greenbeard. How are we doing on likes? How are we doing on viewers? There we go, over 200 people, but not a 50% like ratio. That I think is a good metric. Good. Yeah, the slot cover here is a no-go, but the other ones we will remove if we run into any others that are a problem, but I think we're okay with the others. Bearing sits just below the surface of the extrusion, yep. I mean, this is a vertical one. I only put these here really for aesthetics. The top-facing slots are functional, keeping print debris out of them, but in this case, we are going to, there we go. And now we can put this back in. My manual Bridgeport 3 times more than the CNC Bridgeport. Yeah. So those we want to keep them up, because we have to put the top on with the lead screw nut, because the lead screw nut is wider than the space between the bearings. So it has to go down here. So in the picture, this goes like this. And this will go flange down, it looks like. Make sure we don't catch the wire. It's going to go in the middle of the slot. This all goes down. Bolted in place. All of this does, everything's going to get tweaked. It is interesting that it doesn't just align into the spot. Where is that? Oh, it's this way. There we are. Not tightening it down yet. So we're not going to have any real say in how the rest of this really tightens down. We might be able to tweak it a little bit. We'll check how the column here looks. It feels pretty good. Sure that is pushed down on the, that looks really good from a, if we're just judging by how the lead screw sets in there, that looks better than it did before. Oops. Kind of hard to get the angle on it. That is far better than it did before. It was all the way to this side, the other side. That is good, and that slides right in there. Let's just see what this looks like, just informational. This in the middle, because I've been kind of pushing down just to make sure we're all the way down against those. And then we'll grab this guy. Just gonna do some checks here. That's right there. Here. Just so it's. That is an even gap. What's causing the gap is the extrusion, the plate down there. The plate is proud of the extrusion, but that is an even, really even gap all the way up. So we have a vertical column, according to the setup that we have here, to the degree that I am willing to go through and measure. And then in this direction, we are still pushing forward. It is still pushing forward. I wonder what is causing that to push forward. If everything else is straight, what is causing that to push forward? I wonder if I can. Is Oscar? Yes, Oscar. Oscar is, cats are liquid. So let me just loosen that. See what this does. It still does that. Now, how do we affect, can we affect a change by twisting that? This out over here. What? Wire out of the way. No, I think that actually made it worse. I don't know what's causing that. It is kind of interesting. Because before we tighten things down, it is pretty vertical. Hey, Steve. I'm not sure. There are screws that go in and clamp against the ends. So what we'll do is make sure that the lead screw is centered in the hole below it, and then we'll just call it good. No, because I'm actually pushing the rods further in, and the problem we're seeing is this way. It's leaned forward by the tiniest amount. Here, that's something we can try, is just loosen these. See how that, maybe even put a rearward force on that as I tighten them down. Hey, Bob. Okay, let's do a real quick. Just a real quick. Go, actually set, and let's see if that changed anything at all. No, it didn't. It didn't. So, okay, moving on. We could. I am very, very aware of how many hours can be spent dialing in something. This doesn't matter. It's fine. It's fun to explore, but we're going to move on. Otherwise, this will be a 5-stream series. So they're highlighting here. Where is it? Does it say here, check the plastic part? It looks like they're highlighting the, maybe they're just highlighting that it goes there. I don't think they're highlighting that it should be centered there. Those two are in. The wire is in. And it plugs in there. So here's something I realized I could do, is this tucks into the extrusion and this plugs into the end part. One of the goals I have here is to clean up this electronics bay. And one of the best ways to do that is to minimize the amount of wire that has to be tucked in here. So if I loop this up here into the slot cover, take that up in the top, it's not taking up any space in here. And then this slot cover that Prusa includes can go up here and hold that in place. It still fits under there. So no extra wire. We're still super clean in here. Okay, and this is the plastic cover I just did. For some reason, we got a couple of so that goes in there. Oh, and then we tighten, that's those screws there. They go in from the front and 3x20s. And this is going to lock down that lead screw position. Pretty centered right there. Now this plastic part shouldn't slide on the lead screws. Hi Ella. You just ordered fish and chips for the first time in like 5 years. I don't have fish and chips often. I love fish and chips. At a place that specializes in them, that's what I order. Okay. Next. Hey, I get to have some Haribos. I should have some to make up for last Sunday. Oop. How many do I get? I don't know, 4 or 5. I'm surprised the cats didn't wake up to that. You ordered new parts to make Prusa wire on Friday? Nice. Okay. YZ is finished. Okay. We didn't have to put in the screws on the bottom? Did they have us do that anywhere? Let's make sure I didn't miss something. Yep, these. This is where it was. What is this? Oh, making sure that they inserted all the way. I could hear them when I put them in. This is what I missed. Stim 3x20 here. We have one about 5 blocks away. Should have mentioned that sooner. Maybe I can treat you to dinner soon. 2-bear penalty. Too late. They're in my mouth. They're gone. Andrew Rogers, thank you for the super chat for the Happy Pinhole Photography Day Fund. I know I've heard of it, done it, not done it. Maybe as a kid. No real concept of what's involved with that. This is why the display being, might not be installed, shouldn't be installed yet. That's okay. Liz, welcome. Happy Sunday. Happy what? 2.5 weeks until, is it 2.5 weeks now? Until I have to leave for Rocky Mountain? Let's see. Yeah, 2.5 weeks. Not on 1, 2, 3 blocks, but I just want a quick. With all those tightened up, it is better. Not by a lot, but it is a tiny bit better. And that didn't change, so. Okay. So now we can get back to X-axis and extruder assembly. Oh, this is going to be fun. Okay. I have got that part. Nope, not that part. It is. Excuse me. That part, that's the one. Step away, we sorted the Z minis. It is what it is. It's not perfect. I feel like it's probably better than it was when I started. So we have got a bunch of these parts. So that guy gets, what is this? Version A, the newest version with 4 M3N nuts from the bearing side. I am puzzled. I am puzzled because, oh, let's go back here. I am puzzled at this. I'm also puzzled that we're not at 50% likes yet, but that's okay. We'll get there. My part doesn't match this. And I might have downloaded them before this, but let's check. Mine is the old, mine matches this. Mine does not match this. I want to, what was I doing? Get the printed parts. Let's go here. If anybody didn't see it, I've been having a blast over at Bill's house a couple of days last week. Machining parts on his manual mill. So much fun. I ordered one for myself. Hey, Karma. Okay, printed parts here. So if we go to the files, we go to the, is this going to be under extruder? And it is this part. Maybe that's not considered extruder. Let's try Z-axis. Nope. X-axis? There we are, this part here. If I look at this part, yeah. Bob, you got some contacts? The latest part out there does not match the instruction assemblies. I have a trend lately of being wrong on something, so I'm gonna say it appears to me that the latest part out there does not match the instruction assemblies. That is, I mean, it's not a big deal, but that is annoying. They got this right here. You would think that the printed parts on printables, if they're not going to do GitHub anymore, which annoys me. I wish they did GitHub. If they're not going to do GitHub anymore, not going to keep GitHub up to date, then put them out here. Okay, so we won't, this file is not available, it appears. So anyway, proceed to the version B Z-Carad parts preparation. Version B. They even have whole different sections in the assembly for it. Here we go. We got a bunch of square nuts to put in. Oh, we have 9 square nuts to put in. I feel like, I was thinking about this the other day. I think I have my overhead camera fixed. I can zoom in and out, but when I zoom in too far, it's way out here. I think I'm gonna, since I can reach it so easily, I'm gonna put it on a slider so I can get it right in front of me. Hey, don't knock it. Was there no kit instructions for the most recent revision? That's what we're going through. This is the most recent revision, but the printed parts are, yeah, the printed parts do not appear to be. So we have a carriage front, and here, just put every little rectangular slot here gets a square nut. Some of them fit a little tighter than others. This is not the, there's no scaling. I do not default to scaling with any filament until I actively run into a problem. And I almost never do. I've done all of my Prusa rebuilds in ABS, ASA, PC with no scaling involved, and it's been fine. So the fact that some of these are tighter than others, I think shows that it wouldn't be a scaling issue on these. It's just particular print properties, filament properties on this. Yep, that one just falls out. Even within the same print orientation, some of them stay, some of them don't. So check out SST for miscooling for the, that's stupid simple tools is actually what that stands for, right? No problem. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, that's the 9. Okay. That's all 9 into there. I need the smooth rods. Why it's so hard to qualify printed parts. Yeah. You know, a bigger version of the Frax arm or Alexander Chappelle cam mount. I think a single axis of freedom for this purpose is enough. I don't think I need to be able to free move it. I think that would actually end up being a bigger hassle than benefit. I think. I don't know. And I'm actually, what I'm planning, here, it's messy up there, but let's get a let's get a view of my, this is my overhead cam setup. Everything's good. Nothing's on the screen that matters. Good. This is my overhead cam setup, and I made this because I have cabinets here, and I can open this still and get to things in the cabinet. And there is a knob there and a slot. I cut this out on my Shapeoko, and I can adjust the height of it, and I can change the position of the camera on this clamp. So what I'm on this, with this clamp on the tube, what I'm thinking of doing is taking a page from V1, the MPCMC guys, and make a little 608 bearing trolley that I can run along there. And I think that would work really well. Then I don't have to reprint anything. I just maybe put a little longer conduit on there and run it along. So yeah. Did I say hi, Rudy? Hi, Rudy. Hey, questionable choices, welcome. Motorized camera slider would be cool. Sure, you've got a lead screw or two laying around. Well, I can reach, it's right here. I don't even have to stretch to reach it. It's right here. It's, yeah. All right, we're gonna make video accessories. Wonder if they have any open source solutions. And this has been plenty strong enough to hold my camera. So, okay. I was wiping these off just to get any stuff off of them. How are we doing? We got an hour and a half, and we're going to give away a roll of Polymaker filament. Links in the pinned post and the description. We are at 50% likes. 75% is the next goal. We got to maintain and grow. Maintain and grow. Okay. Really want this to be pointed at the workbench next time we go to it. Don't really make video accessories anymore. And we need some screws. I'm gonna put this in here. So we're just gonna throw that all the way in. Is there a... There we go. Have to get the orientation right. Okay. So these guys go in here. Nice fit. All the way in. See it on the end there. Hard to see, it's right in there. Slid in. Those slid in nicely. That slid out not so nicely. Okay. Yep, that is correct. Secure all parts with the screws. 12s. There. Crack. I don't know if that was... Yeah, I don't see any cracks, so it must have been the nut settling into place. Let's see. I don't see anything. think we're okay. Okay. I'm gonna get this thing ready. That's this. A couple of square nuts. Square nuts, how many? 4. 4 of those and 1 of those. Lock nut, 2 square nuts. So that lock nut goes in here. There we go. That goes in. Went in nice and firmly. Oh, that's a hex nut. Hex nut. Square nut. There. Those guys will end up clamping on the the rods in place. These here. And then we can adjust. I think this is adjusting belt tension. These 2 screws on the end. So go here and idler bearings. The last idler bearing. Wipe this off. Is anybody hot and heavy on prepping a project for an upcoming event, whether it be Rocky Mountain or there's an event in Europe this next week or so, right? Sandy, are you still here? You were chatting about it. I don't remember the name though. All those cleaned off. Oh, we got a couple of bearings to get ready as well. Bearings. Still here. What is the event? Hey, sir guy. Rapid Slider Mini MV Slider Pro are on eBay. Prague Maker Fair. Is that what's coming up? I thought it was a different name. I thought it was a different event that's coming up. Printed Amsterdam. Prepping with some maker coins for FDM Monster. Nice. No shows in the UK. Yeah. March though. It makes it a whole lot easier for a lot of us to get there. Bearings. Need the bearings here and here. Those are the only 2, right? Clean out these bearings. I was talking about an event. Ella went to an event just a little bit ago. Is there another one? Spent the afternoon troubleshooting an Ender 3. It was gifted to me when the owner claimed it didn't work. Had it running smoothly. Nice. The biggest problem for a lot of us with the Smurf in December is, I mean, it was just like 1 week after Thanksgiving and then impacted other holiday preparations. So, bought a Micron Plus with hopes to use it as a backpack printer at 3D Printopia. It may be too heavy. I don't remember how heavy my Micron is. Waiting for Adventure XL to come in. And the best idea for what size is that? Down there. Okay. The grease. Set it in a bin over here. The 8mm bearing. And just leave these on. So I got 10mm and 8mm. We're done with this one. Let's set that aside. Put some grease in here. Oh. 600, yeah. Okay. Now for this one, I do, because I think it would be handy to mark these. So if I mark where the bearing is, just by, that's a bearing, that's, this will tell me at a glance from the side where our bearing traces are. The other ones were easier. Wow, actually I should have done it on the Z. I may pull that apart because I have no idea where the bearings are. I didn't even think about that. Did they note that I needed to worry about that? There we go. And then that's nice and subtle. One of the must-have bench supplies. A variety of colors of Sharpies. Must have. Okay. Lube it up. Oh, hey, there we are. Marking the bearings. Hey, LTX Designs. Make custom rack mounts for full-size AV racks and don't like my current way of bolting them together. Nice. I have maker chips and more maker chips and some zombie filament models for Rocky Mountain and licorice all sorts. Perfect. Okay, that's done, that's done. Put that guy in there. What's that orientation? Okay. Let's put this guy here. Put this in here. Make sure it still spins, but I engage the nylon on the lock nut. Yep, make sure it still moves. It does wiggle. It wiggles in all directions, which is what they're saying there. And a couple of screws in the end. These are insert and slightly tightened to in 3x12s. There's no nut used here. Use more force to tighten the screw into the plastic part. Be careful not to hurt yourself. Do not tighten. Leave half the screw head protruding above the surface of the part. Slide one bearing on each smooth rod. Speaking of, do you want me to bring you some licorice candies? I will never turn down licorice candies. I will not specifically ask you to bring some, but I will, if you do, I will appreciate it. Just seeing if they say leave half the head exposed. I just want to get a good look from the inside at where it breaks into where the end of the rail is. Come to Printer Amsterdam, I'll bring you some. One of the deciding factors in ordering that mill is that I don't have a Europe trip planned this year. So, did you try UK Bassett's licorice all sorts? I don't know. I don't remember the brand or what is that? Brand or type? Those are really tight. I feel like I want to run these through because I don't want to put that twisting torque when I'm adjusting the belt on all of this. So I want to run these through, and it might be just simply because this is polycarbonate, and then pull it back until it's flush with the end here. That way I'm not putting as much torque on it when I go to adjust it. Did you get some then? Thank you, Neil. Okay. Oop, wrong way. Since I'm contemplating going to SEMA this year. Since I don't have, I'll have to look at what the other events are around it, but I think I've got that part of the year free. It's been a good while since I've been to SEMA. So, thinking about it. There's traditionally been some decent 3D printing content there. Companies using them. Both mainstream companies. I mean, Ultimaker's been there in the past. Lulz bought before their most recent changes. Well, most recent a few years ago, but. And then there's the really cool stuff is the little purpose built. Large machines usually for prototyping and stuff. Do a little bit there. Okay, there we go. Yeah, the screws actually warmed up from the friction of tightening into this stuff. Okay, then we can get our bearings on here. And that probably we don't want to tighten those, we just want to put them in. So Zadi, I didn't say hi. Welcome. Playing with a 3D scanner. That's something that's always been super interesting to me, but I haven't like had the specific need to seek one out. I don't feel like it's held me up not 3D scanning something. This probably goes that way. Text down. Pretty sure that's forward, right? Or is that? Yeah, that way. Okay, text down. This is the front. And then there is a window there to make sure that it is inserted completely in both sides, and it is. Just thread these in without tightening them. Make sure that they do thread in. Why is that not threading in? That is not catching. There we go. I had a error. Okay, let's loosen these up. For some reason, they weren't pushing all the way into the hole there. Oscar making room. Poor Felix. That's hilarious. Felix don't care. He's asleep. Okay. Could be useful for mold design if you try to create a mold to replicate an existing part. What are they pointing to here? The yellow. Check the correct orientation of the part. The screw holes in the mini X end must face up. Yeah, okay. We are correct. That is correct. Now we're getting into the X carriage. Couple of that's a regular nut and a square nut. Did you say where they go? Okay. Regular nut and a square nut. And there. Okay. Regular nut. Square nut. Is there a reason Voron doesn't use linear bearings? Are you talking like these? They're not as rigid as a linear rail. On the unsupported span limit is smaller than you can do with a linear rail, because you can support a rail. You can't support these. And to get parts that are beefy enough, they get very big to be able to support those spans. So Voron Legacy uses linear bearings, but there's a size limit. Anybody who goes above that is sacrificing performance and capabilities. So, okay, that one and this one over here. A little bit difficult to get to, so we'll just grab the thing and set it in there. There we go. Hey, Richard Crook. Okay. What are we at? Hour and 2 minutes until filament time. What are we doing on people? 230 and 136. We are over 50%, but we're not at 75% yet. Have you put the Milo to use? How good is it? I've only done small cuts on it. Yeah. I have put it to use, and it worked for what I needed it for. I have not put it through its real paces. Okay. There. And we're gonna set this on that. So we set this like this, like the picture. This goes on here. This might be the view for that. This guy goes on here, slides onto the side. This is probably a little fiddly. Maybe grabbing it this way. Get it started. It's important for this to go as straight as possible. There we go. I heard that snap in. getting a feel for how this set in there. There is, if you notice, there's compliance built into the part, so it snaps. There's still little grooves in there to hold things in place. So that is one of those, especially probably in a part like this, that it would be very difficult to take apart without just reprinting this piece. So fortunately, that worked out. Just take a look at that. Get this excess grease off of here. What Hotend are we using on this? We're using the Swiss 3DC that's linked in the description. It is effectively installs exactly the same physically as the Prusa Hotend, because it uses the same heatsink. It's just a different heater block. But that also means we're going to have to play with wiring a little bit. Hey, Gaggle. That feels good. Nice and smooth. Oh. Oh. I screwed up. I screwed up. It's nice and smooth, but I didn't line up the marks. What can I do to fix that? What can I do to fix that? Can I fix that? I screwed up. Get that off the top and push the part off. Yeah, I think I can probably, let's take the front off of here. Take that off. Take this off the end. Then I think, if I'm careful, should be able to take a bin of, see what we have here. So let's clean this up, just some old linear bearings. See if I can at least get this started coming out. There we go. This out. Maybe it'd be better to get a very slightly. See if I have a. Oh, that might work. That's not quite good. Oh, a little too big. I'm looking for a socket. Socket that will work. I think that'll be okay. Something without any grooves, but fits nice. Oh yeah. There we go. Sweet. Just go straight to this on this one. Yep. Sweet. Perfect. This is the old one. Yeah, no marks on it. Okay. Do over. Scratch that. Reverse it. Don't see any more. Thanks, Bob. That's right. The electronics is wrong. The electronics enclosure is wrong. Okay, so now this can go back on here, and we want two of the marks facing us when this goes on. Put this back on just so we don't tweak things. And then these marks on my thing straight towards me. There we go. All better. Hey, Dom. Nice and centered, and that'll be fine. Take them out with the showing the part. Yep. This is a this is, I need to go put this right back, otherwise it's gonna walk away. Because it is our 10mm socket. I'm putting it right back. I do have, so just because it's here, and I talked about SEMA before. So this was a SEMA swag that I got many, many years ago, that they had, that a eBay was giving away. So, need hard to find items? 10mm sockets. I leave this in the package because one day I will be down to no 10mm sockets, and I will have these. I don't even know how many years ago this was. Made in Taiwan, distribute power built. Doesn't have a year on it. 10mm socket set 2, yeah. Oh. Okay. That is done. That goes on there. Ooh, I did confirm there it's seated correctly. Need a clipboard with about 12 of those hanging on it. You did it correct the first time. They wanted you to add a mark between 2 rows? No, don't tell me that. Maurice. Why would they do that? They did. They did. Oh well. I'm gonna fix it because I know how now, and it only takes a moment. I somehow did it correctly the first time, apparently. Shoot. Well, I didn't want to do that. Good job not totally spooking. Here. You've been trying to say that 3 times already? I try to pay attention to chat. I feel like I do a pretty good job. Sometimes I miss, though. Unfortunately, this is just gonna keep getting looser and looser each time, but we'll do this one more time. 3rd time's a charm. Now that I have my elusive, let's make sure this is it. Yep, that's a 10. Oh. And now, let's see if I can just shift these in the plastic right here. Go. See how. Oops. Can't do it that way. Well, sure I can. No. I'll do it right. We'll pull these all the way off and put them on here. Because otherwise I don't have the same flat surface on this side to press against. So they really do need to go all the way off and then back on. You're more awake than me, apparently. No table encounters, not okay, but my work table is neutral grounds. These guys have been doing okay about staying off counters. They like to get on the kitchen table, and of course they like to be up here. Let's make sure. Go. I don't know how you streamers can build something and still say engage with chat. I'm working on lights and it's 60% of the stream. I mean, you see the little things that get missed and whatever. Sometimes it gets frustrating for me. Sometimes it gets frustrating for you, but. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I wanted that one. Okay, now we can get past this. We didn't miss that. That is on correctly. That is in line. Now we can get the X-axis stepper. It's this guy. I may print that for a couple of people I know. Print what? 10mm indeed, walk away, link in stream chat. Oh, speaking of, I didn't put this right back. It almost got lost. Now it's back. What's up, buddy? Oh. If I admit I'm running a smooth rod-based Trident as we speak, will it be banned from the channel? No. You do you. Okay. We have that. 2 and 3x12s. This is already assembled. I'm not redoing it. Does look about as far as it says in the picture. That goes on there. That orientation. So apparently that goes like that. Every time focusing on a task without losing track of what's going on around me. This is probably good for me. Practice doing all this. Multitasking. Okay, so this wire goes off in this direction. This goes on here. And the 2 and 3x12s go down into here. Why did you fall off to the side there? There we go. Let's get you. Okay, where's the big ol' weight on the end here? Where is the... Oh, okay, I see it. There we go. Could have seen me looking for tools we put on flat surfaces while I'm in... Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, we spent many hours. We probably could have saved, I don't know, 10 or 15% of those hours if we didn't have to look for where we set the tool 2 seconds ago. Okay, so now let's see how all this looks in terms of centering, and see if there's any opportunity for, okay, so that doesn't center that way. At least I can make sure that it's parallel with the printed part here, lined up with it. Thunder keys. Looking through the end here, does look pretty centered, so I'm not going to mess with that. Don't see any reason to change that. is still the correct way. And those two in. You get to put the belt in. Put the belt. We have a belt with text. The Y belt did not have text. So this goes like this. This is the front, which means this has to be red. If this goes like that, we need to be able to read the text, even if it's upside down, it goes in the right direction. Idiots with strings through them. We did get smart later on, and Bill found a a magnet hook for the collet wrench. So text to speech, that would be nice. So StreamYard or Streamlabs or whatever, when you have that set up, there is when someone subscribes or events happen, it will read off something, but I never set any of that up. Okay, so we are putting, what is our orientation here? Let's match what they're doing. So this goes through here, and that means that this goes through here. So, yep. Imagine that's going to just push into there. Something like that. Fish and chips were good. Food coma. Nice. Look at the floor in the picture. Posted Steve in his Discord stream chat. Guaranteed to camouflage anything dropped. Yes. So we put that in, and then we route this through. We route it through the motor and back into that. Push it in all the way and eat some gummy bears. Okay. I use the stuff that, I have a bunch of these, the stuff that comes with the Prusas, and I think it is basically super lube. I think it's just little individual things of super lube. Okay, so this goes in here. A bit of a tight fit. Right there. Screwdriver, here we go. Now it's settled in. All the way in. Still here, Brett? Britt? All the way in. Pushed. Little screwdriver. Little screwdriver. Fully seated. Sour blue gummy bears would match the theme. I'm not a big sour fan. Not a big sour fan. I'll have it occasionally, but it's not my go-to. Okay, so this should go all the way through. Go. Back through here. This is almost as easy to belt as a Trident. I'm going to pull on this, try to line it up with the next tooth that fits into the little printed feature here. And then any other tightening will be done with the screws on the end. Has anyone made a Star Trek theme printer yet? I don't know. I'm sure somebody has. All the way in. There we go. Should have my new Trident printing by Thursday, then I'll bring it to Rocky Mountain. You won't though. Cool. And then we'll tighten these to tension that belt because it is not tight. But it is hand tight to the next notch in the little printed feature. Okay, gummy bears. I cannot do gummy bears right now. They are awake. As soon as I do gummy bears, they are going to say, treats, treats. You want some treats? I do. You want some treats? You gonna come up here? Come up here, Felix? He knows what this is. I don't have a lot. Yeah. He's like, I want treats. This is how we trimmed his nails the other day, is feeding him one of these. Yep. Okay, let's give you some. Yep, you'll see it through there. Oscar's like, I want more. Why does Felix get some? I haven't had enough. There you go. Okay, now they're still gonna get excited when I get my treat, but at least I won't feel bad. How many do I get? 5? 5 or so? Where'd you go? We have not tried catnip yet. I feel like they have to be of legal age. I figure after a year. So this June, maybe we'll introduce them to catnip on stream and see what happens. Okay, this part. Where is that? That's this guy. So what is this? 4 of the 3 by 30s. Which one is that? This one I think is 25. Yep, 25. So that's these guys. Four of these and 2 by 20s. And 2 hex nuts. And a square nut. Your cats go bananas rolling around in the nip. Oscar or Charlie never got catnip. I just never thought about it. No, I take that back. I think we did. I don't remember his reaction though. You got yours. You're all done. That's him, right behind me. It's like, I know there's more treats. Yes. And then the square nut right there. Good. It has a little bit of a friction fit. Okay, now, you got your treat. You got plenty of treat. Started using my Prusa Mini today for the first time in 2 years. The firmware is so much better than it used to be. Yeah. And if it's first time in 2 years, you're getting to use the input shaper firmware now. I like my Core 1. I printed this on the Core 1. And this is the new Cookie CAD Green Apple Elixir. It's a gorgeous filament. The lighting seems a little better here. I showed this off on stream yesterday. Lighting is reproducing the colors a little better, but look at that. I did Hilbert curve on the first layer to really scatter the shimmer. I did the Filament PM built-in profile for this, just guessing. And it turned out really nice. No weirdness at all. The cat is begging for more. He's like, I know you have more treats. Why are they not being given to me? Okay, what are they telling us to do? So we're gonna hold that on there. However, is there any orientation they tell us to do for the Z bearings? I don't think so. Do they not? Is it not a big deal since they're a full length? They don't really care? Because I don't remember them showing us a, let's see, back here. I don't remember showing here, smooth rods into this. Yeah, they're not actually telling us anything about any orientation, so. The sparkle is actually blue. That would look great on a Voron Itsy Bitsy. What's an Itsy Bitsy? Yes. Yes. PCCF won the color theme battle. That'll look good, Bob. That red frame, you can get away with all black parts. What material is Cookie CAD filament? Because I've seen it around, but the website I use doesn't specify what kind of filament it is. So they've been, it sounds like they've been making an effort to make their colors available across the material types. So I actually have, I bought at the same time as I ordered this roll. This is ABS. I don't have any idea what resin they're using, what source, what blend, anything like that. I don't know its ultimate properties, how well it works at the extremes. But they also have a TPU, and then this is the same color in PLA. So I think they're trying to duplicate their colors across material types. It's a tiny Voron 0, 80 millimeter squared. I do not see anything here that says we had to care. If anybody else saw it or sees something, let me know, but I didn't see anything. General thing, because I usually buy from ain't telling what type it is, just that it's glittery. Oh, you should be able to at least get the basic, what it is, ABS, PLA, PETG. Does that box turtle fit on top of the Core 1 neatly? I don't know. Core 1's nearly about the same width as a 250 Voron, so it should. See ya, Karma. Okay, back to, where were we? There. Oh, that's good. Here. Z curves and mounting the x-axis. You're building a Prusa and you don't have gummies? I do. I have gummies. They're not Golden Baron, but they're the closest I can get here. Oh, I made crinkly noises. A smart guy with a Subaru. You interested in some Titan 7 forged wheels? I have the wheels off my STI. I'm gonna need to sell. Oh, let me. He found the remnant package in the little trash. Let me throw it over here. Wait till Oscar decides he likes gummy bears. He's made the jump a few times now without missing. Okay, let's get back on track. We have 28 minutes till we're giving away a roll of Polymaker filament though, so. Oh, you remember Charlie would any little tiny rattle and he was like, treats. Where's my treats? It got bad actually at one point. Okay, let's go here, and then this goes on with 2 M330s. So let's get this moved out of the way. 2 of the M330s, got to get prepared. This sits here. Get this camera angle, that looks about perfect. I have no idea what way these go, but since they're a larger bearing, it probably doesn't matter. So there are little grooves in the, it's down a little bit. There are little grooves in the printed part that the grooves in the bearing settle into. Go, that. This guy is gonna go on. Oops. Come on. Go. Cats don't get excited about bags, though they like treats. However, open a can of tuna and they will concede. This little creature here is the most picky eater. If he gets the same canned food 2 days in a row, he sniffs it and walks away. Can you use a box turtle on a Core 1 or just use, you would not want to, the box turtle is not compatible with the Core 1. You need to use the MMU3 with the Core 1. Okay. We got those 2 in, then we can get the other 2 in now that it's held in place. And then going to line up the lead screw nut and a couple of M3x20s. She also loves fish. We'll throw it up a few minutes later. You replace the main board, Z-axis part 2. I've been considering a PC. Oh yeah, every single part, every single printed part on this, I have reprinted in PC CF. Even the blue is PC CF. It's just from West3D's Ambrosia line. Printed, so all of the Prusament PC CF was printed on my Mark IV in the enclosure there, and all of the blue parts were printed on my Trident. I got the most success from this Ambrosia PC CF. It can be a little finicky. I put a towel over it because I don't have it really well insulated, but I put a towel over it to get the chamber up to an indicated 70, about 70 C. And I dried the filament for a while before printing with it. Did you replace them? Oh. Been running the Voron M4 extruder on my Prusa Mini for years now. It's been faultless other than needing to print a new base plant now and then due to filament wearing it away over time. Just making sure these are all evenly tightened. Move this up a bit so I can get to those screws a little easier. So in 3x12, right there. Is that in 3x12 or did it say in 3x20? What did, oh, in 3x20, not 12. That makes sense. Now that we figured out the secret to trimming his claws, it's not going to be as bad. I might get a year out of a shirt instead of 6 months. I don't want to tighten that down yet. I want to get the other one in. Been printing PC CF these past few weeks. Got it tuned in amazing, so printed a couple of dragon burners in it. Swapping out the mini SBs. Is there enough CF and Ambrosia line to actually stiffen the PC? Never seen high content CF that wasn't very dark. I don't know what the content is. There we go. This should. It is plugged in, so it's a little more difficult to turn. Hopefully it's not binding. Not a whole lot I can do. If it was, we'll have to just see if we have any problems and adjust from there. Did you have to anneal that PCCF? I have not. I don't know if it's better. A lot of filaments are better after you anneal them. I have not annealed anything. Let's go here. Get an out. Felix is out. Okay, those two. Do not over tighten screws, otherwise it can cause issues during printing. Tighten gently but firmly. That's what I think I did. I feel like if they need to be gentle but firmly, they should be going into lock nuts. But I never had a problem with them before, so I'm not going to worry about it. Next. I did that. There are some pretty decent, what look like decent X strain reliefs prints out there. I used one on my Mark IIIs for a long time that would work fine here as well, but we'll leave it as it is. Nailed for a couple hours at 100 C. Looking forward to giving PC CF a go once my Core 1 gets delivered. The dang thing's been sitting in customs for about a week and a half now. Ouch. I'm hoping Prusa is able to meet the end of April estimate for upgrade kits shipping, because I have a Mark IVs to Core 1 upgrade that we'll do on stream. Found that using Prusa PC CF destroys Prusa bed plates even with separation glue. I haven't had any problems. Are you using the textured sheets or the smooth sheets? Because I've always printed PC CF on the textured. Oh, this don't want to be here. That goes in there. Line goes on. So this is just the lineup of this here into here and then down into the second port. And you see here how if I plug this into the second port, it's there, the wire sticks out into the bay, not by a lot, but I think I am going to do the same thing if we can get away with it. There's a little less space in here now, but let's move a little ID tag there. Get this over here, just like that. You've done both. Tiny little loop goes there. It does something like that. Just the tiniest little loop. Other. So this is up. This goes in down here. Now we're still not used up any space down there. Okay. We have not tightened that belt yet. Okay. See? Look at all this. Look at all this that I didn't have to loop up. Hey, speaking of, move the X carriage all the way to the Z carriage. Using a finger and left hand, push down. Some force should be needed for bending the belt, but don't try to overstretch the belt as you might damage the printer. Adjust it by releasing or tightening both screws on the X end. Okay, so we are basically going to that and here to see if I can use the mark on here to do a half turn. Can't tell if it's actually moving or not. Yeah, it's a bit. So another half turn. Hey, Relians. Hey, Joe. Grant, welcome. We just belted the X-axis here, Grant. It's almost as easy as belting a trident. Almost as easy as belting a trident. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Jason. And Jason. And Mitch. Hey, Don. Hey, Alex. Is it as easy as nuking an octopus? No. Do you need a zip tie in patience? I don't need a zip tie. Hey, Leo. Okay. That is tensioned. They want us to do the little app thing, which never works for me, so I'm not going to. What do we have here? Look at the X from the side. It is vertical. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, I didn't actually move it. And then I guess we probably tighten those. We go onto the extruder. Tighten these up to lock everything in place. That transition, the white background hurt. Is there a dark mode here? Is it just the, can I set up a, where is Edge's dark mode? I thought I'd done that before for you guys. I don't really care, to be honest. Some apps I prefer, but it doesn't bother me either way. Where is Edge's dark mode? Let's see. Edge, dark mode. See, I am in dark mode by default. Well, maybe. Settings and more settings, choose appearance and, okay. Settings, more settings, appearance. Dark mode. Seriously? Dark. Why doesn't... Appearance. It is dark. Overall appearance is dark. Oops. You guys didn't see any of that. I am set to dark mode. So it must be a page setting. Must be on here. Anyway. You like that pink trade napkin? That is Cookie CAD Pixie Dust. PLA. Gotta contact being finicky on the last few days of the month. Printables has a dark mode, but Prusa site doesn't. Okay. I won't dwell on it then. We got the extruder. Extruder time. Oscar is still anxious. He still wants a treat. Okay. We don't, well, this is already attached. We don't need to redo it. It is clean. We got this part and a bearing and some hex nuts. Okay. So on this side, we do some hex nuts. Oh, hey bud. These aren't treats. Even if they're grub screws, they're not treats. Oops. Pull that through. There we go. Grub screws are adult treats like catnip. Not my adult treat. I'll do without. And we put this guy in right here. You just call hex nuts for grub screws? I don't even know what I said at this point. I was muttering. Nice fit. Very nice fit. That piece. Good job. Another hex nut in that piece. Does it actually have, is this part typically pre-inserted? Because I didn't actually see any instructions to put that in. Oh, I did say, but I said something about grub screws, but it was more a joke about Nero and grub screws and snacks. Yeah. Okay. This guy goes in here. Bearing goes in the other sides. Just want to make sure I had wiped these off. Just get any residue off. 8-minute warning for, oh yeah, filament giveaway. 8 minutes from now. We have almost 300 people here. We should be able to get to 200 likes. We only need 39. 39 likes in 7 minutes. Okay. And, oh, there's apparently a lock nut that goes in here. Where does that go? Oh, that was a lock nut that went, no, this part, never mind. Lock nut goes in here. Never won anything. Keep entering, and maybe you will. Okay. Next, what does this say? Make sure the bearing is aligned with the top surface of the printed part, and it is perfectly. I am imagining that this probably needs to go on there, and it probably on the kit parts is pre-inserted. So let me nope. Seeing if I had a handy nut driver. I do not. I'll just use the Kinepix. I won once, but my phone died before the giveaway started and lost it. Oops. So are you a Polar Ted Club member? Now remember, Polar Ted Club, official Polar Ted Club members are from here. Just because you miss out on a giveaway on some other channel doesn't gain you entry to the Polar Ted Club. I'm looking to see if I have a driver I can use to just help get this started a little smoother. Oh, what size is this thing? It's too big. There we go. Will that work? Oh, darn it. Nope. What can I do to, what size is this? 10 millimeter. Hey, I have a 1/4 inch drive 10 millimeter. 3/8. What's the small 10? No, that's 30 seconds. Where's my 10 millimeter regular one? That'll work. That will work. Okay. What do we got? 4 minutes. We only need 6 more. Hey, Deech. We always give warm welcomes. It's a requirement. Oh, I don't pay anything here, Kobe. Someone wins filament, it comes straight from Polymaker. Depending on where you are and if they have implemented it worldwide or not, I never remember. It's hands off for me. So, hey, 3D Print Craft. Hey, Woody. Hey, Down Under Maker, Phil. Welcome. Okay, I'll probably get this installed in the next 3 minutes. So this guy is going here. And what I've been, the printed, you can maybe call those threads. The print orientation does not work well for threads in that direction. So what I really wanted was something that I could hold this with some, I wanted it to set bottom out in here. And the deep socket, ew, and dirty. On the deep socket, it just got lost in the thing. So I wanted something that I could press on it evenly to force those threads. Let's clean the socket out a little bit. It is Hey, Jeff. Polymaker is international. I buy from them many kilograms per month. Yep. And there are no restrictions on location for the Polymaker giveaway. So, what? Look at that boy. We have 1 minute till the giveaway. So majestic. Okay, let's go back over here. Yeah, I've seen at least, well, including the multi-pack, I've seen like 8 10 millimeter sockets today. Any reason not to use a tap and die versus using the brass fitting to create the threads? I have no idea what threads those are. They're pretty coarse. It's pretty coarse threads and small diameters, so I would be very surprised if I had a tap for whatever that is. And it'll be fine. It's brass in the plastic, it'll be fine. It is nearly 1 o'clock, my time. So let's get Wheel of Names up here and going. Last week's data. Delete. I don't think Polymaker is in Europe officially. You've always had to go through resellers to get it. Here it gets expensive. Yeah, but they'll ship anywhere. So, well, for the prizes, for the giveaways, I don't know about the direct sales or whatever. Okay, it is time. So what we do here, all 10 millimeter sockets in a reasonable location. Ooh. You know what worked for my son all the time was a bouncy ball. Holding him and bouncing on an exercise ball. Either that or jumping on the freeway and getting up to 60 or 70 miles an hour and he was out. But hey, definitely not Eric. Let's see. Let me get over to my form. Oh yeah, I set it up on the other computer. So let's go forms. And today's. So I will be closing the entry form when we haven't had a new entry in 3 seconds. 3, 2. We lost 10 million. Lost sock from a dryer to keep it company. That's true. There's a haha trick today. I forgot to mention it. It does coincide and overlap with my stream, but at the very least, Meet the Maker with West3D was with Stefan today. I don't know if it's still going or if it's over, but be sure to go check out the VOD. I had set up to raid into it and then I realized what time it was. He's in Europe, so it's hard to schedule it for after this. What form are we up to? I do keep count. I keep the form number. It's not necessarily the number of times I've given it away because I did it on like the anniversary streams and stuff like that. But, oh, it got postponed? Okay. 153. This is form number 153. I keep track. Okay, we've had a few, so I get to start over. Someone was ill. Okay. 3, we just got one, so I get to start even again. 2, 1. It's only been 2 minutes. That's not even 3 seconds yet. I just bought a new camera. I opened my Tundra door and a 10mm socket rolled out. Just got one. So 3, 2, 1. 3 seconds lasted this long. There's one. 3, 2, 1. Get them in, because I'm about to hit close. Time expands. I could get one more in. It's gonna be my day. Okay, we're done. Save. There we go. Create the sheet. Who got in first? Maurice, you were the first entry. Who got in last? Nappin. Thank you. You walked right in front of my keyboard as soon as I had to hit shift. Okay, we have, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 days. Let's say 16. I have 16 prep days before leaving for Rocky Mountain. I have 16 prep days. That sucks. 1 to 16. Number between 1 and 16. Number between 1 and 16. Leonard, you said 13. We'll do 13. Shuffle, shuffle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13. And spin. Who do we got? Who do we got? You have who? Paula Noku. Paula Noku. Congratulations. You are here. Say something in chat. You have 2 minutes. Starting now. Paula Noku. I'm gonna get you all stocked up again on Pueblo Red. Awesome. I'm actually this much left in the container. So perfect timing. Paula Noku, are you here? Congrats. If you are in the US or Canada, and I don't know if this has changed, but I'll just keep my same spiel. If you're in the US or Canada, you get a coupon to the US or Canada store, which is really cool because that means you can get, it's just basically money you can apply to anything. You don't have to get filament. You can get a dryer. You can get whatever else they sell. I don't know what else they sell. the things I care about are filaments and dryers. If you're outside the US and Canada, it might be you pick from a list of filament and it gets sent to you. So there you are. I see you. Congrats, Paula. Control C, let's copy that. Validate the entry. It's that there. Search for the name. Only get the one result. That's good. And as is usual, oops, that's not what I wanted. You are going to get an email in just a moment. Now, Squarespace sucks. Google and Squarespace, between the two of them, what are you getting into? They screwed up my email. They screwed up a lot of people's emails. All of my email forwarding, like stevebuilds.info, was broken for a week with no notification. I registered my domain with Google Domains and it got bought by, or the Google Domains got sold to Squarespace. And which you would think you wouldn't have to do anything to have simple things such as email forwards continue to work. See, Andres. But for a week there, every email I was sending from my Steve Builds address was coming back as blocked. So, big giant shout out to Poity for helping me work through that and finding the correct Reddit threads for other people that were having the trouble. They didn't send me an email. Outbound, I could get inbound. I could get inbound, no problem, which it was actually a relief. At least I could tell everything that wasn't going through. I could get inbound, but outbound was failing the DMARC checks. Paula, congratulations. An email is on the way to you. Let me unpin this. Yeah, what something, SPF, DKIM, the checks there were failing. If you are ordering from Polymaker, there is an affiliate link in the description. I should plug that more, but I always forget. So I'll do it when I remember. They have a gigantic selection of colors and materials. I use it often. I don't use it exclusively. There's a lot of cool filament out there, but it is good stuff. Steve, can we do a giveaway of one of the cats? No. Yeah, Google's shutting down a service. Well, I'm with GoDaddy on another domain and they screwed me over. So I wasn't gonna do another. They changed their webmail to Office 365 and completely eliminated a service I was using and wouldn't let me, it didn't give me any alternatives. So that's when I went to Google for the additional domains for the channel. And then it got sold. Trust changes because the handoff changes. The change happened months ago and it's only within the last week. There was some explanation on something they changed. Well, we got through it. That's fine. Okay, I finished that. So that is done. Close this and go back here. Namecheap for a few of them, but they don't export my from Microsoft 365. There's nothing wrong with Microsoft 365. The problem is I was with GoDaddy's previous service, I was able to set up email aliases and forward for my family members. So I had ptrsn.us registered and I could do forwards to like April's and Xander's personal email accounts. And when they switched to Office 365, that ability was removed. They don't have any way of doing that within their system. So, you had. See ya, Martin. Used to be with Gandhi for domains. Yeah, the problem is there's so many out there and it overwhelms me. Okay. we have this, we have this, we have this. We need that to go there using that. So let's do it. April's home. Cleaned out the socket a little bit, so hopefully we don't get a bunch of, just enough threads on there to hopefully get a purchase on this. Make sure it's straight is the big thing. I didn't want to thread it in there crooked. It has those semi-printed. Yeah, that's looking pretty good. Now, I am a little worried about splitting this. So I am going to try, like, I've done this before, where we're just kind of working it in. Going a little bit further each time. Yeah, I get that, Bob. It's the very basic. I pay like $25 or $30 a year for it. I'm a little worried about that. I really don't want to split this part, and it is quite tight. That's not a bad idea, GPs. It's not a bad idea. I got that started. I like where you're going with that. I'm gonna, how will I best do this? Oh, I was putting it in. I was trying to put it in the wrong way, maybe. Yeah, I was using the wrong side. This one is a little, it's coarser threads. I don't think I have the tap for this. I am going to see if I can heat the tip of this without heating the plastic. I know I'm way over here, but I'm gonna warm up the brass by holding it really close, but towards the end, and hope I get enough. Don't want to go too much. Yeah, I don't know if that's. Fine face out. Yep, that's what I got. I think I started it wrong, but I think I have it now. Oops, sorry. I'm just continuing this. This is a little, is it pneumatic fitting? It's got a acorn or whatever you call it thing. See you one solid cube. Olive, that's it. Knew it was something that came off a tree. I don't know how far this goes on. Let's see if I can tell from the picture. Looks like it goes pretty much all the way. Looking at that. Oops. Not hearing any signs of cracking, so I'm just gonna keep going. There we go. It's on. This is the same. It is a straight thread, so it's not a tapered thread. If we were to guess, where are my calipers? See if we can get under some magnification, see if it's an even, maybe look at scale. See if we can, it could be 1 millimeter. No, it's not 1 millimeter pitch. It's the coarse side, yeah. The fine side is 1 millimeter pitch. The fine side is 1 millimeter pitch. And if we go inches here, since it's, yeah, that's too hard to really get it good. It might be 40 thousandths or so. It's hard to tell. I'm not familiar with my pipe threads at all. So I do know that that is a straight cut, at least. It's going into a machine part here. Yeah, there was lots of suggestions of changing out these little olive, compressed olive fitting setup, but printer only has 20 days of print time on it. Is it M8? I mean, what size is this? I don't think so. Do I have an M8? Do I have an M8 anything? Oh, this is M8. It's M8. It is M8. So it's M8 by 1.25, right? That's why it wasn't lining up. And I can't see that on a scale accurately. It is M8. Yeah, it is M8. I do have a tap for that. Oh well, we got it. Okay, that goes there, and then we grab one of these. I've got a couple of these. I printed it twice. I seem to remember one of them didn't turn out as good as the other, but can I tell which one? Oh, they both turned out pretty fabulous. Fantastic. Okay, let's just use one. Use this one. Okay, I have a pin, another bearing, square nut for this part. Pin, bearing, live, make mistakes, learn, repeat. Yep. Oh, you were looking for replacements? It's, yeah. Okay, this guy here. Do want to check the fit on this pin. It is in a poor direction. If this is too tight, that does not seem like it's going to be too tight. Yep, that'll be just fine. It's got some friction, but I can feel that it's going in there. So, where does this guy go? That guy goes in there. This, make sure it's clean. This guy goes in here. There we go. Perfect. Push this just. There goes Xander somewhere, and it spins. And it looks like that was the bearing I used for filament for this. I just put them in the bin, but this is the one that was used in this part before. So it's got the groove there where the filament ran on it. Hey, Kim. The Modern Printables by Mad Monkey that switches that fitting out for an yeah, lots of those. Limiting that extra bit of PTFE. Was I supposed to put a PTFE? Was there supposed to be a piece of PTFE in here? This guy goes in there, huh? This guy goes in there. Is that right? Why didn't you tell me? At least I've got threads cut now. Give me a chance to... Give me a chance to inspect, and because I was loading PCCF and Excel. That's no excuse, Bob. What do I pay you for? That's right, never mind. Yeah, see, I need to move the camera back here because I just want to work right here. Even this is comfortable, but out here is a little less comfortable. I do get what I pay for. Okay, let's look at the condition of this guy. It does have good chamfers. Everything looks pretty good. I didn't have any consistent or repeated loading issues. So let's see how that goes in right there, and that's nice and tight. But before we do that though, let's run. If you look through there, you see that little droop, that little bit in there. Let's get rid of that. Have itty bitty. Is this correct for that? What size is this? 3. No, that's not going to be 3 millimeters. I think I'll have to run a. I don't have a 2mm reamer, so we'll run a little. I don't think I have a 2mm reamer. I'll just run find a numbered drill bit and work up in size. Yeah, start at 1.87 here. 1.87 and just floats in there. So go up a couple of sizes. That still floats in there. We'll just run it. Still mostly floats. Number 42. Oh, and that touches, so we'll go 43. Don't want to overdo it. That feels pretty good. Get my actual pin vise on here. Oh. Just want to make this as smooth as possible because this is, yeah, and that little bit is gone. If you could see it before, you can't see it now. So that'll be good. We'll just leave that right there. We don't want to open that up any, but I wanted it to be clear of what was there. Probably see because a piece of filament goes up through here. PTFE goes up through here. What is that piece that does that? It's from the filament sensor. Where is the filament? That. Isn't there one? Yeah, there should be a piece of TFE that goes between them. Don't see one. PTFE does go through there, right? Fresh piece then. Just to see if I need to clear it out. I want to clear it out now while I can blow it out without getting bits stuck in there. Just grab a piece of something. Yeah, because I think there's a screw that goes through here just to make sure it gets held in, but that is a little tight. So I'm going to do the same thing. Grab somewhere around just under 4 millimeters and clean that up. What do we have here? Oh, there's 404. There we go. 392. I don't think my pen vise will fit in this. No. So just try to do this by hand. So basically just, yeah, there we go. Do I get more Haribos? Now let's see how well a piece of, okay, that is a little tight. Since that was 392, I'm gonna go straight to an actual 4 millimeter reamer. Since I do have that, there it is. All we're doing is knocking the edges off. Yep, it's tight, but it goes in. So that's good. Anywhere else that I can clean up on this before we move on? I don't think so. I think we're okay. So now this guy is chamfers on both sides. That one's a little sharper, so we'll go there. Now that should, yep, that goes in there. Don't see anything. Let's grab a piece of filament. Let's see how this goes through. It's even kind of bent at the end. It is going through, and I don't feel any. It's good. Okay. Okay. Metric. Next, got a spring, and a longer screw. So what do we got? 3 25s, that's these guys. 3 12s, the spring and the long screw. Okay. Piece of 150 millimeter PTFE. Okay. So now this is going to go on there. Okay. Wire going that way. Wire going that way. This guy goes on like this. A couple of 12s. I think what we'll plan on is getting through this, and then next stream we'll get the tool head assembled and wired up and hopefully printing. So little 3-stream series here. It's I think works out pretty well. There. 3x12s, and then we have our, now I had cleaned this up. I went through and made sure I didn't have any filament stuck in the hub part of this, and just cleaned it up in general. I feel like this would probably benefit from a little bit of grease there. That feels a little tight, and I'm guessing I can loosen these, and yeah, that's a lot better. So we're gonna loosen those, run it through, and then tighten these. Does that say anything about that? Rotate with one pulley to ensure the second is moving well. So they do a little bit, but that feels much better. I know I'm not supporting it over here, so it might change once it's together, but that was too tight before. Okay, doesn't say place filaments for must face up. This is an area where I feel like it should have a little bit of lubrication of some sort. Is there anybody who says that's a terrible idea? For some reason I might not be thinking of. This will end up going here like that. Just tiniest little bit. Something a little slightly heavier EP2 than, or at least seems like it would be, than the little tiny little blobs. Every little bit. Then the super lube. Itty bittiest bit. And none down here. Don't get it down here. This is just. Okay. And this guy is going to go on here. What are those 25s? Here. 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 Oh, line up the printed part. There's just some interestingly shallow hexes on those bolts. I don't usually have any trouble with my ball end wrench here staying in its spot, but I think those are actually shallow, more shallow than, oh yeah, you can see it there just barely. It seems like it. We've descended into the depths of units of measure. Ugga-duggas. I'm all in on ugga-duggas. Although that's a force measurement. We are talking about we are talking about weight, so okay. Never mind. Okay. Insert the idler. Align the holes on both parts and secure it with a 3x25. Place the spring. Put that in there. Okay. So this guy goes over here. That goes in there. So there's a 3x25 that goes through here. Okay, I think that's fine. This guy, was there no washer on that? Nope. This guy just goes through there. What is there? I think it's probably to the head is flush with that. What does it say? Insert and tighten the screw until they stop tightening when the screw head is aligned with the edge of the plastic part. It's right there. It might be a little under flush, but not by much. Yeah, I stumbled on some good settings for this Thunder Keys. I am really pleased with how the blue PC CF turned out. Now at first, I had a bear of a time loading the filament because it was pretty brittle. But I think it was the first bit of it. And once I got past that, it was okay. It's still, if you try to break it, it breaks real quick, but worked out well. Okay, next. What is this? It is recommended to mark the disc. Oh, this is just to make sure that the filament PTFE tube is all the way in. This is for this piece. Now, that's the 150 centimeter or millimeter piece. That might be different with the, I don't know where that went. For the filament sensor. So I don't think that's critical for us to do right now. I think we'll skip that. That's funny, don't knock it. Thank you for becoming a member, for being a member. 31 months. It's interesting that came through after you typed. Hey Paul, did you have a question? Oh no, you guys are. Yep. Did you use glue stick with the PC CF? I probably used the nanopolymer. Don't knock it. Thanks for the gift of memberships. I probably used the nanopolymer. And it was probably, I don't know if I specifically put it on there. What surface? I did use a textured surface, a regular textured surface. On some of these, I was using the satin surface from that I got when I was in Prague. Shoot, I can't remember their name, but if Sanity's here, she'll remember. Okay, I'm gonna skip this PTFE right now because I think it might be, if it's the same, we can still install it later. I know it fits. There is a screw that goes in there though, and that's an M3x12. So let's just put that in there so we don't forget it. It's this guy here. Make sure, yep, it will tighten down, so we'll go right there. No, it wasn't OSEC. It was someone else that was making them. I got a satin sheet, a textured sheet. Wasn't OSEC. I did order some OSEC plates that Sanity is bringing over. It's the same with or without the sensor. Okay. I did order some OSEC plates that Sanity's bringing over to Rocky Mountain. So some larger and different sizes than what I have. Loki, there it is. Thank you. Loki? Is it Loki or Loki? Printova 3D, yeah. Paul Bishop, if there is a setting you have to turn on to accept. That doesn't help me, Sanity. You spell it the same way, but it doesn't tell me how to say it. Okay. Have you used all your free memberships for April? I believe I have. I will double check though. I haven't used my, I've been a member of my channel for 17 months. But I do not have any more free gifts to hand out. Assessing someone else's memory is usually a no-no in computing. Okay, where are we? We have this little piece. Are you in here? I sure hope so. That's a small piece that I know I printed. Maybe it's over here. Where is that? Uh-oh. These? That does not look like, I'll show you that here in a second. That doesn't look like PCCF. Looking for the little lock piece. Where? I know I printed that. I've seen it. I noted it might be something that's got left on my other bench. Hey Mitch, thank you for the gifted memberships. Tim. Hey Tim, how are you? Your printers, desktop CNCs, making your own upgrades. Yes, for sure. I don't know where that is. Okay, let's see. Go to the next. I think that can go in after, so let's put it in after. What do we got? We can put this, place the extruder on the Z carriage. You streaming after this, Tim? Let's see, we can probably raid into you if you are. What do we got? Redirect. Let's remove that. Let's add. I don't see you. I don't see you on the list. You're streaming at 5? Is your stream scheduled? Because anything I'm subscribed to that's coming up shows up on my little list here. YouTube being YouTube. Let me see real quick. This is worth taking a couple of minutes. Let's try this. 5. You don't have anything actually scheduled. That's why. I go to your channel and you don't have a stream actually on the schedule. Is it unlisted or by mistake? If you fix it, let me know. In the meantime, we're going to keep going on this. Okay. I would check your settings. It could be YouTube being YouTube, but normally you should be able to go to your channel and it's not showing. That going that way, and we're going to secure it with the thing in the lower hole. This guy goes right here. There's this sticks out. There's a spot for it. 25 into that hole right there. Go. Just scheduled it. I'll give YouTube a little time to catch up. Next. What time is it? Almost then. Place the extruder, brass fitting, secure it with that one. And then we would put that in. Place the mini inspection door to the extruder and align the holes. Secure it with an M3x25. I'm gonna have to find that. I'm gonna put this M3x25 in right now though. And then I get more Haribo. Okay, so this is probably a good point to call it. Let me see if this is going to show up here. Give me a second. Let's save. Let's go back in. I think this is a good point because I still need a lot of time. Let's see. There you are. So let's see if this will share. Copy that link. See if this will work. There we are. Okay, we are set up to raid into DeWitt3D Canada's channel after I end this stream. Oops, I'm just putting this screw in here because that's the last one before working on the extruder. So here we are. We have that much done. There's a surprising amount of things to do on such a small printer build. Hopefully we will finish this off next Sunday. Put the rest of this together and then do some of those flow tests with this Swiss 3DC Hotend setup. Rocky Mountain Rep Festival is coming up. Let me look at my calendar here. I think so. Between now and then, it's just Sunday streams. And then looking like we'll probably aim for either the 24th or 31st for a Charlie's Angel stream in May, late month. Give me some time to get ready. You need to print a Haribo bag sealer so you don't get stale Haribo. I don't really mind. It makes them a little chewier. My wife loves it. So if I ever buy licorice for my wife, the preference is to open it, set it in the back of the pantry, and forget about it for about 6 months to a year. And then it's about right for her. I'm not kidding. It's typical for her to get the bucket of Red Vine's licorice that was purchased like after the previous Christmas, and then that's her gift for the next year. Anyway, thank you. Thank you, Polymaker, for the filament giveaway. Thanks to all you for hanging out. Thanks for the gifted memberships and super chats. We will see you next Sunday, and hopefully I see some of you in Colorado in 2.5 weeks. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of your weekend, rest of your day. Enjoy the build. Bye.